Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. Now, about a year ago, designers Joe Price and JT Smith brought us The Captain is Dead, which in my opinion is the best cooperative game that I have ever played. And in this game, you are taking on the role of a crew member aboard a starship. And the captain has been dead because we were under attack from some hostile aliens, and during the attack our jump core was taken offline, and so throughout the game we were working together to get the jump core back online and be able to escape before our ship was destroyed or we were overtaken by aliens. Well, here we are now. We escaped the aliens, and here we come into episode 2, Adrift, which is a brand new adventure for our perilous crew. And so we have escaped the hostile aliens for now, and we have navigated into an asteroid field in an attempt to escape them. While we are in the asteroid field, a rogue asteroid has slammed into our ship, knocking the jump core offline again. Now, there's a twist. We have some stowaways aboard our ship, and they happen to be our friends, some of the hostile aliens. Now, these aliens are bent on sabotaging our ship's systems, preventing us from escaping. In the meantime, the alien mothership has been sending probes into the asteroid field in an attempt to find us and to capture us. So, during this game, now, in this expansion, we are going to have to do two things. We can either work on getting the jump core back online again and escaping, or we can attempt to navigate through the asteroid field and be able to get away. So we have two different things that we can do. Let's take a look at this expansion and how it's integrated into the game, and I will come back and I will give you my thoughts. Okay, here I have the game set up for 5 players with the episode 2 Adrift expansion integrated into the game. And so from here on out, I'll be referring to this as episode 2, and anything that was in the base game will be referred to as episode 1. And so the first thing that we have component-wise is a brand new alert deck, complete with the yellow, orange, and red alerts, just like in episode 1, but all of these will have an asterisk in the lower right-hand corner, and so these will be placed here. Episode 1 are not used. The game also comes with 2 new battle plans that they'll have an asteroid on there as well, and these will be shuffled in with the battle plans from episode 1, and so all of the battle plans will be utilized. So those are something that's familiar. Something new now, well, we have a crew that has some experience now. We survived episode 1, here we are on episode 2, so now these guys are veterans, and so what better way to incorporate that than by adding veteran ability cards. And so there's going to be a number of them. For example, here we have the pack rat. It's going to allow the guy to start off with a tool of their choice and doesn't count towards their hand size. We've got a bunch of different abilities, and what these veteran abilities do is give each player a unique skill for that particular game. And so at the setup of the game, each player will have one dealt to them, as well as their random color pawn that they're going to play. And you're going to look at that skill, that veteran skill, and read that, and then use that in making the decision of which character you're going to play to make the most of the game. So for example, here I had Flash dealt to the character with the white pawn, and it says you have 1 additional action each turn. Well, looking at the different roles that I could play, opted to use the janitor because it says you can spend actions as wild skill cards when repairing or reinstalling systems. And so this guy here, figuring with having 1 additional action, that's 1 additional skill that he can use, And so that's going to be really, really important for him. He can run around and help repair systems. And so we've done the same for some of the other players. For example, here the Chief Engineer is the Sci-Engineering ability. So he's got Science and Engineering skill cards are interchangeable. That means he can use Science cards as Engineering and vice versa. And so it's going to be very, very valuable for him. So this is going to be for each of the players. We'll do that. So that's something new for the game. And also, there's something else that is new are these damage tokens. And these are going to represent the small amounts of damage that the ship is going to be taking as we are encountering these different asteroids in space. And these will be placed onto the various systems. So they won't be taken offline right away, just like in episode 1. These will accumulate damage tokens. Now, these are going to be affected by the aliens themselves. And if you notice here, it's set up that all 12 aliens are on the ship. And so they are on every space of the board, including the hallways. So they have stowed away on our ship, managed to get on here. Now, their main purpose is to sabotage the ship. And how this is going to come into play is that each system that has a damage token on there, if they're at the start of a turn, if there's an alien there and there are any systems that have damage tokens, you're going to add an additional damage token to them. So for example, here this comm system now has 3 damage tokens on there. When you reach 3, the system goes offline. And so now we will have to worry about repairing it. So we have this delayed effect of the systems going offline with these damage tokens. So that's something new for the game. Now, let me talk about the cards themselves, because in this deck we have some things that are new. Well, we're going to have some new anomalies that come in the game, and so some fresh things are going to happen. For example, here, this one, tools may not be used. And so, again, it will scale just like before with 2 players. If this is a 2-player game, discard it and draw another one. And down at the bottom, of course, the what it's going to take to research this to get rid of it. So this would be an active anomaly during the game. We also have now these asteroids. And as you can see, there's going to be the damage that's going to happen. For example, reduce the shields by 20%. And then it says add a damage token to each system with at least 1 damage token already on it. Now, there's a couple ways to deal with these particular asteroids. Number 1, you can let it hit the ship and take the damage. You can also fire a torpedo to destroy it, so we won't have to worry about that, but that's using up a valuable resource. Or we can attempt to dodge the asteroid. And so this dodging ability is just like the overriding of the alerts in episode 1, but there is one minor variation here. That dodging these asteroids, the ability to do that, is going to have it's going to have a correlation to the status of the jump core. And so we're still going to have to discard command cards in order to avoid these asteroids, to dodge them. But depending upon where the status bar is over here is going to determine how many command that we're going to have to discard. So starting off, we're at the normal level right now. We would have to discard 4 command in an attempt to dodge the asteroid. So this is something that is new for dealing with these asteroids. And another type of card is these alien probes. And now this is going to add a new way to lose the game. Before, we could lose the game if the ship was destroyed or if it was overrun by aliens, and that can still happen in this game. But now we have these alien probes, and if there's ever 2 of them in play at once, then the ship is captured and the players will lose. So this is something that is going to add even more tension to the game. Now, another thing that's going to happen and how we can win the game, before the only way to win was to get the jump core back online and escape from the alien ship. because even if we made it all the way through all of the alerts, we were still going to be destroyed. Well, now we can win by getting the jump core back online, or if we survive this whole alert deck, all of these alerts, we will successfully navigate through the asteroid field and we could win the game. And so that is those are the major changes that are going to come into play in the game. We're still at the start of the game going to resolve the first 5 cards off of the alert deck. That's going to be the damage that the ship is going to take that cannot be avoided. And then the rest of the game is going to play out just like in episode 1, and incorporating now these damage tokens that will go on to these various systems, and we will now have the veteran abilities. So that is what the expansion is going to bring into The Captain is Dead. Alright, so there we have the Adrift expansion for The Captain is Dead, and the first thing I want to talk about is this is the way that expansions are supposed to be done, because here we have the Adrift expansion coming into play, providing a new experience and broadening the horizons for this game without taking away from the core essence of The Captain is Dead. And I think that sometimes there are some games that are out there that an expansion will come out and it changes the game completely and it takes it away from the core essence that made the game what it was. And so this one here, though, it's a continuation, and I like the fact that thematically now it's episode 2. And so I want to talk about this expansion, the different elements, and what I like about them. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and we'll talk about the storyline here, is that our crew, the captain is still dead. They managed to escape from the aliens in the first episode, and they have navigated into an asteroid field. Now the aliens are still pursuing them, but they've managed to escape for now, and a rogue asteroid has now hit them and taken their jump core offline again. Well, this crew has some experience to them because now we're in episode 2, and so I love the fact that now we have these veteran abilities, and these veteran abilities are now going to further give each character their own uniqueness, and we have a skill that's going to be used throughout the game, and so I think that that's going to increase the replayability. You're hoping to try out all the different veteran abilities, but more importantly, it's going to have an effect on the roles that you're going to play in the game. Because I don't know about you, but me personally, when I'm playing the game, I'm partial towards one particular character for each of the color types. And so, for example, with green, I tend to be partial to the science officer. However, with the veteran ability here for maintenance and what it tells me to do, I thought it was more suited for the cyborg, and so I decided to play him. Or even more importantly, with the white cards, I tend to like the hologram, although he's kind of fragile, but he can do a lot of cool things. Well, this one here, the Flash, gives me one additional action, and the janitor can he can use actions as skills, and so I thought, hey, this is perfect. We're going to use the janitor. And so made me think about using a role that I normally wouldn't play. And so it's going to broaden the horizons for that. Now, let's talk about the aliens. The aliens in this game are going to have more of an involvement in the game itself. In episode 1, they were there and they just kind of took up space, and the main thing that they did was the pressure of worrying about if all of them come out and overrunning the ship, then we would lose. Well, these guys, they start off all on the ship, but their motive now is to sabotage systems and take them down. And so instead of just sitting there, being in a room, if they happen to be in a section of the ship that has a damage counter already on a system, well, at the start of a turn, they're going to continue to put damage tokens on there and eventually take those systems offline. And so they have a more direct involvement there. Also, the aliens now have produced a new way for you to lose the game, and that's by having their probe ships. If you happen to have 2 of the alien probes coming into play, At the same time, then the ship is captured and we all lose the game. And so the aliens now have a more direct involvement in the game other than worrying about just overrunning the ship or them just firing stuff at the ship and worrying about it being destroyed. Because now we have to deal with asteroids. Because the asteroids are going to be the more of the way that our ship is going to be destroyed in this game than by an alien firing missiles at us. And so now the asteroids themselves present a new element to the game because we have options on how to deal with them. We can fire a torpedo at the asteroid and blow it up. Or we can attempt to dodge it. And I like the fact that attempting to dodge them is going to have a direct correlation to the status of the jump core as to how much command we have to discard. And so the scaling, it's like, you know, if we start off on a normal game, we have to discard 4 command in order to dodge an asteroid. But the closer that we get it to being online, we will have less command to discard. So it goes down to 3. And so you can see the progress that is happening in the ship, and so we have this little bit of scaling there to be able to avoid the asteroids. Or the third way we could deal with it is just allowing it to hit the ship and take the damage as you will. And so now we have these options to dealing with these. And you know, and so it also presents a way of, now we have a couple of ways to win the game. We can, of course, get the chump core back online and get out dodge, or we can attempt to navigate this entire deck, and that's a lot of cards. And if you know from playing episode 1, things go from bad to worse to horrible. And so, and that's not going to be any different in this particular game, and I specifically did not show off any of the alert cards because I didn't want to spoil things in there, but there are some pretty crazy shenanigans that are going on in there again. So I think that the designers of this game, they really like to toy with people and have some really bad things happen. So so that's going to be kind of fun. Now we take these elements into the game, and let's talk about how it affects the gameplay. And the biggest way that this has an effect on the game is now there's a lot more options. So there's more things to do on the game. And so it's going to really increase the importance of having to work together as a team. And really trying to come up with a plan and trying to stick with it. Because with so many different things to do, okay, and things to manage, it can just be crazy and get lost in the shuffle, because now you're working on, okay, we're gonna try and get the jump core on there, but in the meantime we have to navigate the asteroid field, and we also have to worry about the aliens on the ship, because if they're there and we have damage tokens coming, we're gonna have more systems going offline, and so we have to do this, and we have to do this, and we have to do this and do this. It can become crazy, and before you know it, there can be just this big mess, and so you can lose the game. So you're gonna have to stay focused, and you're going to have to be in communication with one another to be successful with this game. And you cannot get overconfident in this game. If you ever think for a minute that, oh, we got this licked, we're just going to go specifically after this jump core and get out of there, you're going to be fooling yourself, because this game will trip you up. And so I love that about the game, and it's important, especially in a cooperative game, is you want to have a game that's going to want to fight back at you and really make it difficult. If a cooperative game's too easy, then it's not designed right and it's not fun, because you're going to play it once and go, oh, that was nothing. This is going to beat you up, and so you have a lot of options here, and that's going to increase the difficulty and complexity of the game. I really feel that the game plays best with 5 to 7 players. I think that the more characters that are involved and in play are going to enhance the experience of playing the game. You're going to see a lot more of the interaction, a lot more of the personalities coming out during the gameplay, and the uniqueness of the characters. And so I think that that's good. Now, looking at this game from a family perspective, this game is just insane. And so the main important thing for this is going to be making optimal decisions, looking at a situation and going, okay, what is most important, and having to do that. And then also a little bit of press your luck aspect to it. Is it worth taking damage from the ship with or should we spend our resources like firing torpedoes at things? And so you're going to have those options. And the main important thing is being able to communicate and work as a team, come up with a plan, and to try to be successful in this game. Because without a plan, you don't have a chance. And so those are the things that are really, really important for this particular game. Now, what do I think about the game? Well, I said before that The Captain is Dead is my favorite cooperative game, and I love this game. It's so thematic and so much fun and so just crazy insane that every time I play it, I'm like, it takes me a while to come down off from playing it. Episode 2 just goes right along with it. This is a must-buy. If you have this, then you better get this, because this is going to make this one seem tame. This is where it's at, and I'm looking forward to even more crazy adventures with this particular crew. The captain, I'm sure, is going to be dead for a long time because dead is dead. And but this one here, just fantastic. This continues to be my favorite cooperative game. I think the biggest reason is with this is that that a lot of times in playing a cooperative game, there tends to be the one person who's the quarterback, who's trying to direct the whole show. And in this particular game, there's so much stuff going on that one person can't do it, and it takes a group effort. And I think that that's important, and one of the reasons why I really like it. So that's it. That's the Adrift expansion for The Captain is Dead. And if you are interested in this, I will have a link in the video description below. You can go ahead and click on that. It will take you over to that. And that's it. Captain is Dead, Adrift. That's it for now. Join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table. Bye-bye.